I have talked about the China connection, right, for a little while. Lucky or good, I got on this early. I had noticed on the 13th of September that we were very, very protracted in this sell-off on China. So it was time for a reflexive bounce. And then the follow-up was the next week on the 20th. Remember, I do this on Fridays. I always look rest of world and everything else on my intermarket analysis. Saw that this, green shoots here. But that has a lot of work to base and move higher in a normal functioning market. Well, you know what's happened to it since then. It has gone ridiculously hot fire flames. And this is literally that scoop I just showed you. It moved higher, got above zero. I had put a circle right here, which was where I expected, and this is from the 27th. So now this is the updated one from the 27th, right? Every week, got the 13th, got the 20th, got the 27th. Anyway, so I said, okay, well, we just need to get above 31, get above this trend line. We're going to be in the sweet spot between about 32 and 3,400, right? So this is the area where this should calm down. And then we followed up, right, with, oh my God, it actually went there. Here's where we are now. So this is the advance that we made very, very strongly into basically practically, 3,400. And then I think I did one more. Hong Kong was open, but the Shanghai was closed. That's it. So long story short, you can see where we basically are done with my Shanghai. It got into where it needed to go. But what I also wanted to do was go out big picture, right? So big picture is now this. And this is still the Shanghai on a monthly. And I'm crazy about going big, big, big picture because I think the hourly is just a sugar, adrenaline, junkie kind of kid running around chaotically and goes up, down everywhere and crashes and then pops up like a daisy. The day is a little bit more subdued, but it's like the parent, right, who has authority over the child, which is that hourly time frame. The weekly is like the grandparent that says, whoa, 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 you're not going, any farther. You got to respect the grandparent. Well, the monthly is like great grandparent. And I really, really respect elders. I think that's just how I think of charts, how I think of the world. And if you've lasted this long, you made it to great grandparent status, you need to be respected. So I go out to a monthly time frame and I do this little thing, which is this technical analysis where I'm looking at long time ago, back in the 2000s, and I use my kind of rate of change, which is how I like to overlay big monthly charts. And you can see back in kind of 2006, we had a huge advance in also, I would say, China stimulus with rate cuts. But anyway, we had a huge advance in the Shanghai Stock Exchange. And we had another little one after the 2009 great financial crisis. And then we really went sideways until most recently, believe it or not, 2015. Again, they had, if you remember, the dollar yuan they did a massive RRR requirement rate. They cut. And it was a big volatility event in 2015, long story short. Anyway, they cut rates aggressively and we went, whoa, major VIX event happened in 2015 and their market shot straight up. And you can barely even see, I don't know, I hope you can see. Do you remember in 2000, we had all the stimulus over here and then we had a massive expanse of rally here in the US. We had a little rally relatively in China, but it's still very, very nice, right? No question. We had a great little bump here right into resistance. And ironically, February of 2021, a whole bunch of stuff here died an ugly death, from China plays to the SPACs, right, to the ARCs of the world. It was an ugly time. But the point is that this really, really got tapped back down. And then only recently have we gotten back into this kind of midline, right? Dipped again. And January is when I got excited about it. One, because of Baba. And then Jeffrey came in and was extremely excited about China and Hong Kong. And it was a very, very focused edge kind of thing where he was doing Lufax and the Hong Kong Stock Exchange and Baba and JD and oh my gosh. So anyway, long story short, he said it was stupid cheap. Now, we have had this advance because I'm on a monthly, it doesn't look like such a big advance, but it is, right? I mean, we're talking 28% in 10 days. But the point is, this is above zero. That's very bullish. This is, you know, how I use my rate of change. We've obviously had a little hockey stick here move, nothing like what happened during other cycles of rate cutting. But the point is, this is a start. It's in a good position to continue. It could also fail miserably and fall back down. So I need more. I need to know that this is a rotation of size because of short covering, and it formed a gamma squeeze. All those good things are fabulous for piling on. Hedge funds are underperforming, which they 90% or 80% do anyway on a yearly basis. The point is, David Tepper comes out and says, oh my God, this is great stimulus. They needed it. And money just rushes in, right? Like really, it's a flood of money. But here's what they're doing. They're hitting their head from the 2007 high, the 2015 high. And you know that I've only had this up, right? I've only had the 2015 trend line up, right? The bottom of 2013, which led, by the way, US QE extravaganza to the 2015 policy intervention by China. All right, so that's what created the parabola, which created the crash and a lot of sideways for a long time. We are in a parabola, much smaller, nothing like this, but that's what people see. Anyway, we are hitting on a weekly time frame, we are hitting resistance, right? You can kind of see that, but we also are very, very much above resistance. Remember, this is the key. I had all these arrows. Remember, I had all these arrows. I said, okay, so this is the trend line. We got rejected again. We got rejected. You can't see it, but here and here and here. So what's going to happen here, right? Well, we gapped above it. Now I'm going to get rid of all those, but the point is, you can see how this trend line has had a nice little memory. Now we gapped above it into that sweet spot. Amazing. And we're hitting another resistance level. Doesn't mean we can't get above it, but it's enough. Like literally, I had literally just said last week, this is enough. Like we're going to get into here and this is where it should calm down. Now, once we get above 34, these are the targets higher, but it is not, in my mind anyway, so clear that we're going to have enough energy after this fabulous advance. We're going to have enough energy to really do what's necessary, which is to get above major monthly trend line. So we're in great spirits here with sentiment and with money flow and with macro, and Jeffrey still fundamentally very bullish, but technically speaking, I think we're here, right? Right into this area that happened right before China had their holiday and Golden Week, and the Chinese are opening up brokerage accounts at warp speed right now. Seriously, it's like, whoo, they've just discovered their market again. So my point is, this is where we now need to get and stay above. So this level, I think, has been that expected level. We've hit that level, and big picture, we're hitting another level. So congrats on all who have been long and strong since January or February or whenever you got in for a trend reversal. It absolutely is happening. For those who came in just for a swing, which ironically, again, Monday morning on the 23rd, when I was looking at FXI and LI and Baidu, because, well, they looked like they were going to have a move. So this was the 23rd. Granted, I only had humble expectations, and over time, not this quickly, but now you can see what's happening, right? Now it's a bull trap. Now they're coming back down. Baidu also way over performed. I had really on the Monday right here, it was gorgeous. It was just getting above. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens at the 200-day. Well, then we got the stimulus and the monetary easing, and then followed by the stimulus. So that is well outperformed. But I warned yesterday, this is the 100-week. We typically come into the 100-week, and this was also the prior high. I had have talked about BABA hitting the prior high of January 2023. Well, this is the prior high of at least May. So this is where digestion comes in, and we're getting it. BABA, same thing. This had been expectation that 115, which was the January gap down. We've made it all the way back up to that gap. And big picture, I did say 120 would be extremely bullish when we can get above 120, right? See the scoop pattern? 120 is pretty serious on a quarterly, but once we get back above 120, we'll really have a much better trend reversal that will be absolutely convincing. But for right now, we've done it. We've made it into the weekly gap fill of 115, and we're coming back down. The other one, which is interesting, that I had recommended, Bob has been in play since January, but the point is, the other one that was recommended on Monday the 23rd was Lee. I liked again how this was coming up and above daily resistance. And more importantly, really more importantly, it had this gorgeous start of crossover of the 10 and 21. And I said, that's exactly what you want, right? That's the start of a trend reversal. I only gave it a gap fill price target of 24.61 with an overshoot into the moving averages, right? So basically 27.68. My goodness, if we could get all the way back up to May, same as Baidu, of $30 in time, that'd be awesome. But this is also where it should start to digest. Anyway, we've gotten extended. Just like I've mentioned before, these can be very powerful above the 200, but they typically then come back down and take out the 200 after that parabola is sold. I think we probably have a more likely setup that a pullback will come back. It'll mean revert. Right now, right here, right now, I think is the time it will mean revert. And it will come back into this kind of initial price target.
Join Club to trade with Samantha. Scan this QR code or click the link in the description. Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more live trading room recap videos and other content.